A lot of people like to golf when it's like cooler, and I'm like, no, thank you.
I will tell you, the odd tee time here or there where the temperatures are in the 40s and they warm up to the 60s by the end of your round, it's not that bad.
Not that
Not
bad.
bad. I don't know.
We'll take your word for it.
Well, speaking
Yeah.
of which, I haven't been on the course since January, so I need to get out and golf. I miss it terribly at this point. 81 out there today. Again, our record for today is 85, so we were very close to that. Not so close to the average, which is supposed to be 70 for this time of the year, but we were above average today, and we're going to stay that way for the next few days. South winds and high pressure, which we'll talk more about here in just a second, are helping to contribute to that. Clear skies across central Texas, and unfortunately, not a whole lot of aurora borealis to show for it because, again, it kind of stayed more up to the north for tonight. We'll, again, keep an eye on it over the next hour or so, see if any of those reds can kind of sneak down a little further south. But, again, I think last night might have been the better night for viewing as far as that goes. 64 out there right now, southeast winds at about 8 miles per hour. And, again, across the area, we're pretty consistent. And one of the things that kind of helps us with that is humidity. Once we get humidity in place across central Texas, it kind of helps with the consistency. Take a look from I-35 to the east, everybody basically around 60, and then or to the west rather, and then to the east of I-35, everybody still close to 70 degrees. Again, that one tells you where most of the humidity is, again, down in the Brazos Valley, and two, shows you how we can kind of stay consistent in these zones when we start to get a little bit of that humidity in place. And of course, all that's coming in on those southeast winds, which you can see here. Not a huge factor out there tonight in terms of the wind speeds, but again, that direction will keep bringing that Gulf moisture in, and that's going to do a couple of things for us. We talked about this during first weather, but it is important, so I want to bring it up again during your full weather forecast because I want to make sure you are aware that as you head out the door tomorrow morning, it could be pretty foggy across parts of central Texas, according to our forecast models here, especially along the I-35 corridor. So keep that in mind. Give yourself an extra 15-20 minutes. And remember, low beams only, no high beams in the fog, please. All it does is serve to diffract and blind everybody else around you. So again, low beams in the fog. But again, take a look at that. A couple of areas may be below a mile in terms of visibility. So we'll see if there are any dense fog advisories issued for tomorrow morning. That's the one aspect of the humidity. The other is the fact that it's just going to stay a little bit warmer. Temperatures bottoming out around 60 degrees tomorrow morning. Another warm afternoon for tomorrow, back into the 80s, and that high pressure is going to see to it that we stay in the 80s for the next several days. And again, that low pressure system off the coast of California that we've been tracking for the past couple of days, again, the slower it goes and the more of a northerly track it takes, the longer it's going to take for us to get those rain chances in place. So at this point, it's looking more and more like it's going to be into next week before we see those rain chances start to materialize across central Texas. Until then, partly cloudy to mostly clear skies, temperatures in the 80s through the weekend, again, peaking in those mid 80s potentially for the weekend. And then here come those rain chances. And then behind that, our next cold front as we head into Wednesday could bring us from the 80s back down to basically where we're supposed to be for this time of the year. And again, we got to watch those rain chances as we head through the beginning and middle of next week. And remember to keep up with your forecast. You can download our 6 Plus app. It's free. You just got to download it on your smart TV.